Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum dear students. How are you? Hope you all are fine. I am your science teacher, Mrs. Javed. Today dear students, we are going to discuss about force, unit number 7, page number 47 and 48. Dear students, we know very well the force which we need to do work is called energy, and we have discussed different forms of energy like solar energy, heat energy, electrical energy, light energy. And we have also discussed an invisible force that is called force of gravity. Today we will discuss another type of force that is called force of friction. Force of friction, page number 47 and 48. Yes, dear students, what is force of friction? Force of friction. Friction is the force which resists the motion of objects or surfaces. Friction is the force which resists the motion of objects or surfaces. When we rub our hand together, they become hot. We know very well. When we rub a matchstick against a matchbox, the match lights up. Yes, you know very well. If we roll a glass marble on a glass table, it keeps on moving because there is no resistance. If we roll a glass marble on a ground on a rough surface, it gradually slows down and then stops moving due to resistance due to rough surface. The force which slows down or stop moving things is called friction. Friction is the force which resists the motion of objects or surfaces. When we rub our hands together, they become hot due to resistance. When we rub a matchstick against a matchbox, the match lights up due to resistance, force of resistance. If we roll a glass marble on a glass table, it keeps on moving due to resistance. If we roll a glass marble on the ground, or we can say on the rough surface, it gradually slows down and then stops moving due to rough surface. The force which slows down or stops a moving thing is called friction. Our match lights up due to friction. Friction is the force which resists the motion of objects or surfaces. Now students, we will discuss causes of frictions. Why friction takes place? Friction takes place due to the interlocking of irregularities between the two surfaces in contact. We can say friction produced due to the rough surface, or we can say due to interlocking of irregularities between two surfaces in contact. You can see in this picture. Here you can see these things create friction. So friction produced due to interlocking of irregularities between two surfaces in contact. Factors affecting frictions. Now we will discuss factors that are affecting on friction. Number one, kind of surface. Surface is smooth or surface is rough. It means kind of surface will affect on friction. Amount of force pressing surface together. Force is also a factor that produces friction. Kind of surface, amount of force pressing the surface together. Different types of friction. Now students, we will discuss different types of friction. Static frictions, you can see here, sliding friction, rolling frictions. There are different types of friction, like here static friction, in this picture sliding friction, and here rolling frictions. So it means frictions have different types. Now we will discuss method to reduce friction. Method to reduce friction. Ways of reducing friction. Number 1, use lubricant like butter or oil or grease. We put oil on the moving parts of the machine. Oil makes the parts slide over each other and there is less friction between them. So, number 1, use lubricants like butter or oil or grease. By this way, we can reduce friction. We put oil on the moving parts of a machine. Oil makes the parts slide over each other and there is less friction between them. Number 2, use rollers or wheelers. By this way, we can reduce friction. Number 3, use ball bearing. Another way to reduce friction is to use ball bearing. The moving parts of a machine are kept apart by small balls which can roll about. This reduces friction between the moving parts. So, use ball bearing. By the use of ball bearing, we can reduce friction. How? The moving parts of a machine are kept apart by the small balls which can roll about. This reduces friction between the moving parts. So, by these ways, we can reduce friction. Advantages of friction. Advantages of friction. To walk or run without slipping. To write with a pen or pencil on a paper. To hold objects steadily in hands. To slow down a vehicle when the brake is applied. Friction can also help us to run and to ride a bicycle. It helps our shoes and the cycle tires to grip the road. It is very difficult to walk on ice, for example, because there is less friction between our shoes and the icy surface. It means friction helps us to walk or run without slipping. We can write with a pen or pencil on a paper with the help of friction. We can hold objects steadily in our hands by the help of friction. We can slow down our vehicles when the brake is applied. Disadvantages of friction. Now we will discuss disadvantages of friction. Slow down the movement of objects. Number 2, produce unnecessary heat and damages machine. Number 3, more energy is needed to move an object. When the moving parts of a machine rub against each other, they become hot. They also wear out. Tires of cars, shoes, and our clothes also wear out due to friction. So, friction can slow down the movement of objects. Friction produces unnecessary heat and damages machine. More energy is needed to move an object. Okay students, take care. Allah Hafiz.